Hello and welcome back to ERU, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from around European football. Joining me today, it's everyone's favourite member of Football Daily, it's Michael McCubbin. Fresh from watching 4 Premier League games yesterday. What a marathon. How are you, McCubs?
Yeah, first time I've done it in a while, and it was great actually. I forgot actually how good just doing nothing all day and watching the football can be. I usually get too irritable after 2 games, but this time round, had a bit of the rugby on as well, so I was double screening it. It was just
nice, an
a
absolute
proper day of
sport fest.
sport. Yeah.
Love that. But McCubs, we are kicking off with a man who really enjoyed himself yesterday, Erling Haaland, at the suggestion of Football Daily's very own Sonny Snelling. Shout out to Snells. But what happened with Haaland yesterday?
Yeah, he loves him, doesn't he? I mean, what a day for Haaland, eh? Golden Boy winner in the morning and 4-goal rout in the afternoon. Got those 4 goals in the second half as Dortmund came back from 1-0 down against Hertha Berlin to win 5-2. The 20-year-old Norwegian striker, as you can imagine, was absolutely lethal. Completed 3 dribbles, got off 6 shots in total, and all 4 of his efforts on target went in. That takes his tally to 14 goals and 2 assists in 10 League and Champions League games this season. That's an average of a goal contribution every 47 minutes in the league alone. He's just carrying on that spectacular form he ended last season in, hasn't he? He really hasn't stopped actually since kind of getting on the radar and becoming a household name at the start of the 2019-20 campaign. And there's a lot to suggest that he's actually taken his game up a level this term. Last season, he became very quickly known for being a super clinical striker, but he's now added volume in terms of his efforts on goal. He's now averaging 4.3 shots a game, which is a significant rise on last term. He's also averaging 1.3 key passes and 1.3 dribbles, and his combined expected goals and assists per 90 is now at 1.14, which is around the level that we saw Lewandowski last season, or in the last couple of seasons really. So very impressive stuff from him. And with Bayern Munich dropping points at home to Werder Bremen yesterday, we filmed this on a Sunday, Dortmund have moved within 1 point of their rivals, so an unlikely title push is potentially on the cards for BVB. If they do last the season challenging, Haaland will no doubt have a big part to play, as he is already. Lucien Favre's side is working well at both ends, to be honest. They've scored in all but one of their 13 games so far this season. That 2-0 loss to Augsburg, the only anomaly, and only RB Leipzig and Wolfsburg have conceded fewer than their 7 league goals to date. Really coming together for Favre's side. But the main story is Haaland, isn't it? After 31 goals in 30 games since joining from Salzburg for just 20 million euros in January, there's an argument now that he has overtaken Mbappe as the world's best Wonderkid. This is obviously, something that will no doubt continue to dominate, football Twitter and the general kind of online discussion in this kind of, golden era of Wonderkids that we're going through at the moment, as it is. There's definitely, I don't know, there is an argument for it. I don't think I can fully get behind it, but he's already got 14 goals in his first 11 UCL games. And many of those came for Salzburg as well, let's remember. Mbappe, by comparison, got 14 in his first 25. And obviously Mbappe, wasn't playing as an out-and-out striker for a lot of that time, especially at PSG. He's kind of been playing on the wings as well. But Dukes, what do you reckon? Is there much credence to this argument, or would you say Mbappe's still top dog?
Yeah, I think Mbappe has got more credit in his bank, obviously, from his fantastic displays at the World Cup.
True.
And more experience under his belt on the biggest stage. But Haaland, I don't remember ever seeing a player start their career quite so spectacularly, and I don't think anyone, when he signed for Dortmund, could have predicted what he's become, which is probably in the top 3 strikers in world football right now, alongside Lewandowski and maybe Kane. There's really no one else to rival him, and he's one of my favourite players to watch at the moment as well. He's so unselfish, he's so clinical, he's so insanely quick as well. It's going to be a debate that rages on, and to be honest, I'm not too interested with who's the better player or who's who's the most outstanding Wonderkid. I think they're both outstanding. But get your thoughts in the comments below on who you think is the better one. I think at the moment I'm probably still going with Mbappe, like you, but Haaland, excellent to watch.
I think
let's go back.
Sorry, I was going to say the thing is with this game. I mean, I only caught kind of extended highlights of it, but each of his goals, especially the third and fourth, it was just like watching him back in the Austrian Bundesliga, wasn't it? Yeah. He just made that Hertha Berlin defence look so amateur.
Absolutely.
But as I interrupt you there, Dukes, you're about to get onto them. So yeah, what does this defeat mean for Hertha?
Oh, well, it's not great. And as you say, I think their defending was really naive. Such a high line against such a devilishly quick forward was a mistake. But yeah, it's a devastating defeat. And it's fair to say their start to the season hasn't gone exactly to plan. And they have spent a hell of a lot of money, remember. They've spent £130 million since the start of 2019-20. Just £40 million less than treble winners Bayern in that time. But they've only won 2 of their opening 8 league games, leaving them just 4 points clear of the relegation zone. And they were knocked out of the DFB Pokal by second-tier side Eintracht Braunschweig. And it's not difficult to see why either. They simply concede far too many shots. Only 3 sides have conceded more than their 14.6 shots per game, leading to 18 goals conceded, which is only topped by Mainz and the disastrous Schalke. But there is hope that they'll be able to arrest this poor form. They've got Matthias Cunha in their side, who is continuing his epic form, which really started post-lockdown, really. He got 2 goals here. That's taken him to 6 goals and 2 assists in 8 games so far this season. And he played magnificently in this game on the left of a midfield 4. 9 tackles and interceptions from a left winger, which is incredible, including a game-high 6 tackles, 4 dribbles, 3 shots and 2 goals, as I said, one of which was a lovely long-range strike to open the scoring, with Roman Bürki failing to get a touch on it. For Dortmund, Brandt was excellent. 5 tackles and interceptions, 3 dribbles, 4 key passes, 1 assist. For a player as talented as Julian Brandt not to be a nailed-on starter just goes to show the options that Favre has got in his side right now, particularly in attacking areas. Hummels was also excellent as well, completed 94% of his passes, won 5 aerial duels and completed 9 tackles and interceptions. Next up for Dortmund and their striking sensation, they've got Club Brugge at home on Wednesday before travelling to 16th place Cologne next weekend. I'd be somewhat sceptical about whether they can mount a long distance title challenge, as in, keep it going till March, April next year with the sort of amount of games they have. But for any Dortmund fan, they must be really enjoying the ride this season. So many young players, so many attacking players at the top of the game. They've been a brilliant watch and they're well worthy of our spot as the winners. Let's move on to our loser.
Our loser this week comes from @Clearly Claro, and it's PSG, Dukes. What happened there?
Yeah, well, he was certainly seeing clearly on this one, because PSG threw away a 2-goal lead to lose 3-2 to Monaco on Friday night, reducing the gap between them and their opponents to just 4 points at the top of Ligue 1. And if Lille managed to beat 17th place Lorient at home tonight, this is on Sunday afternoon as we said, they will be just 1 point behind the 9-time French champions. This was the Parisians' 3rd Ligue 1 defeat of the season in just 11 games, as many as they lost in the entirety of last campaign. And there is now mega pressure on their game against RB Leipzig at home on Tuesday. They're currently 3 points off United and Leipzig, so you feel if they lose this, with United playing Istanbul Başakşehir at home, it's going to be really difficult for them to qualify from this group. And he called Tuchel, that is, their second half display catastrophic. And you feel like if they don't qualify from the group, he might well lose his job, actually, which is quite incredible considering that they reached a final last year, dominated in Ligue 1 once again. And no one really saw it coming, this result, going into it. They've won 8 straight games in Ligue 1 going into it, scoring 25 and conceding just once. And they dominated the first half as well. They scored 2 goals through Mbappe, one of them a lovely chipped finish, and had 2 more goals disallowed for offside as well through Moise Kean and Mbappe too. But Kevin Volland scored twice in 14 second half minutes, and Abdou Diallo, who had a bit of a shocker, gave away a penalty late on, allowing Fabregas to score an 84th minute winner. And they can't really have too many complaints about the end result. XG had it at 3.28 to 2.02 in Monaco's favour. And they can't really blame personnel either, so there's no excuses on that. They started Mbappe and Di Maria, although they were both substituted at 2-1. I bet Tuchel looks back with that or with a bit of regret. And Neymar came off the bench as well. And they were playing a side whose average age, their starting 11, was under 23, which is just crazy. But McCubs, we need to talk about Cesc Fabregas. What a performance.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about all that youth in the squad, but it was the older head who really inspired that turnaround, wasn't it? Niko Kovac threw on the 33-year-old at half time. The team really changed its shape, didn't it? Kevin Volland moved further forward and was much more effective in that more kind of number 9 role. But yeah, Fabregas completed 4 tackles, which was third on the pitch in just those 45 minutes. He managed 3 key passes, 3 shots as well, and yeah, got the all-decisive goal from that penalty, and also the assist for Volland to make it 2-2. His goal was just his second for Monaco in 45 appearances, but he's been his usual creative self this season. He's averaging 3.2 key passes per 90 at the moment, which is the most in the Monaco squad. And yeah, their season has really picked up recently, hasn't it? They had only won 3 of their opening 8 games, drawing 2 and losing 3 as well. But yeah, they've won their last 3, scored 9 goals in that time, really finding their groove. They're the 4th best side in France according to expected points, and will surely improve on their 9th place finish last year, which was their second lowest actually, but since being promoted back to the top flight in 2012-13. Obviously, we're pretty used to kind of Monaco yo-yoing up and down the table season by season at this point, but it's looking good for Kovac at the moment. Kevin Volland, as we've already mentioned, had an excellent game, scored twice from his 4 shots. That takes his tally to 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 Ligue 1 games to date. 20-year-old defensive midfielder Aurélien Tchouameni was also excellent before being subbed. 9 tackles and interceptions, also completed a dribble, a key pass and a shot. He's really been one of the discoveries of the season. Go and check him out if you haven't done so already. He's appeared in all but one of Monaco's games so far, currently averaging 4.2 tackles and interceptions a game, also averaging over 2 shots, 0.6 dribbles, 84% pass success rate, which is, not amazing, but pretty promising for a player so young. So yeah, the 20-year-old could have a big future, especially if he keeps up performances like this in games like this. Will have certainly turned a few heads in such a big fixture, which is, let's face it, the biggest fixture for Monaco in the Ligue 1 calendar. Next up for them is 17th place Nîmes, so they'll definitely expect to win that in this kind of form. But back to PSG, like you were saying, Dukes, it is a bit concerning for Thomas Tuchel at the moment. Obviously, started the season under quite a lot of pressure, him and Leonardo not seeing eye to eye in the transfer market. Not the best start form-wise as well in the league. It looked like they'd kind of turned a corner, didn't it? After that early blip, but the UCL form hasn't been great either, and yeah, they're very much not through that group as it stands, and they haven't actually, since that, in the Champions League, they haven't failed to qualify from the group stage since 2004-05, and that's considering that they have been solidly in the Champions League for the last 10 years, so that would be pretty unprecedented. And yeah, for me, I think that's that's probably something that would get him sacked, to be honest. It's already looking pretty uncertain whether he'll last beyond the end of the season. But yeah, that would be truly catastrophic if PSG drop out of the groups by Christmas. That is basically their season done by Christmas, isn't it? Because Ligue 1 is generally a given for them. The cup competition is also generally a given for them, but UCL is really where their season is kind of won and lost, isn't it? So yeah, PSG fans, get us in the comments below. Do you think we're seeing the last days of Tuchel, or are you feeling a bit more optimistic? Yeah, let us know down below. Let's move on to our star of the week.
As McCubs says, it's time for star of the week. Woo! And it is Yannick Carrasco. Why is that Michael McCubbin?
Yes, well, he was the right man at the right time, wasn't he? Got that decisive goal for Atleti against Barcelona last night, which led to that 1-0 victory, that all-important 1-0 victory, which actually takes Los Rojiblancos level on points, or took Los Rojiblancos level on points with Real Sociedad. They play Cadiz this Sunday afternoon. I would bet that Sociedad may well be back on top of La Liga by the time you're seeing this, but stranger things have happened. But yeah, and also, this was Atleti's first win over Barcelona in the league under Diego Simeone, which I found very, very difficult to believe.
Amazing.
That's what the commentary was saying anyway. I haven't looked it up since, so maybe the commentators were, maybe they were mistaken, or
we'll blame
maybe
them. Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe it is actually that mad. Like I just can't believe that, to be honest. Like I know Barcelona have obviously been very dominant, but Atleti have also given Barca some excellent games, and obviously beat them in the Champions League as well in that time. So maybe that's what's clouding my kind of my memory with that. But because I can't actually remember a time that they beat them crystal clear. Anyway, I digress. Back to Carrasco, because he is the star of the week after all. He was positioned kind of slightly out of position, wasn't he, at left wing back? A position that he has kind of played in the past, obviously with Simeone favouring, his wingers kind of playing a little bit more deeper. But he was excellent in this game. 2 tackles and interceptions, completed 4 dribbles, created a chance, 3 shots, and obviously that all-important goal, which he took so well.
Yeah.
That's just his 3rd strike since returning to the club from Dalian Yifang this year, or this summer, wasn't it? Or was it earlier this year? Oh God, I can't even remember. But anyway,
I think it might be January.
It was January. They made it permanent this summer, didn't they?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at. The goal came obviously after Gerard Piqué failed to control the ball in midfield. Really poor by his standards. Correa chipped it through to Carrasco, who then rounded to Stegen, who had charged out. Edison got kind of criticism yesterday for charging out for that Lo Celso goal. To Stegen, what was he doing? But Carrasco still did very well, to be fair, because that, considering to Stegen's reputation, like, he could have actually easily won that ball. But Carrasco, to put it through his legs so calmly, and then actually also to time it, a lot of players maybe would have maybe held the ball up at that point to try and get a better angle. But yeah, just had his eye on the goal, just very clearly slotted it in, didn't he, from so far out. So yeah, I think hats off to Carrasco for that. Very cool customer. But it wasn't a great game, dude, because I feel like that was pretty much as good as it got in terms of action, in terms of drama.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
Well, I didn't actually watch this game. I put my hands up, but I did watch the highlights, which only could extend to 5 minutes after this game, because it wasn't, as you say, a cracker. Both sides could only muster 6 shots on target, 4 for Barca, 2 for Atleti. Barca's probably best moment was when Jordi Alba played through Messi and from a wide angle. No one was there for the pullback, so he had to go to try and get it into past Oblak at his near post, but didn't manage to. XG had it at 1.3 to 0.8 in Barcelona's favour, but as I say, not really a cracker. But it could prove even more disastrous for Barcelona. Piqué was forced off with an injury in the second half, looked like a nasty knee injury. Some people in the Spanish press are speculating he could be out for as much as 6 months as well, leaving Longley, Araujo and Umtiti as their only centre-back options, so bleak for Piqué. This defeat leaves Barca in 11th at the time of recording. That could obviously get worse as the weekend progresses. Having lost 3 of their 8 La Liga games to date, they have 5 fewer points than at this stage last season. And bear in mind that Ernesto Valverde wasn't particularly well liked or particularly successful at the start of last year. I mean, eventually getting the chop in January. That's pretty bleak, to be honest. Atleti, meanwhile, are 24 games now unbeaten in the league. They actually haven't lost since the 1st of February against Real Madrid. I think that was a 1-0 loss. They're now 3 points ahead of Real Madrid and 9 ahead of Barca, and they've got a game in hand on their cross-city rivals as well. So things are looking pretty good for Atletico Madrid. Carrasco, well done for settling an otherwise pretty average game. Atleti march on. Barcelona's sort of continued demise continues. Really poor result for them. If not, the performance, it wasn't a complete disaster, but Ronald Koeman needs to arrest this slump as quickly as possible. But guys, that's all we've got time for on ERU for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let us know what you guys thought of Haaland, Atletico Madrid, and who was our loser again? PSG, in the comments down below. McCubs, what should they go and watch now?
Oh, they should go and watch yesterday's Football Pyramid. Saturday's Football Pyramid. That is. Sonny versus Danny Pape in a Tottenham Hotspur special. It gets pretty tasty. That one. Sorry, go and check out our top 10s. We had one on 10 of the worst Golden Boy nominees. A couple of harsh entries in there, so go and send us some hate if you disagree. And go and check out our EFD Explains as well. Barcelona and Real Madrid, 2 very spicy EFD Explains there about Real Madrid, the end of the Galacticos era, and Barcelona about their kind of continued financial troubles. So lots to get your teeth stuck into on EFD.
Absolutely, some great content coming at you every single day. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye!